Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Geography. I am Kavita here to introduce one more lesson from Geography part. In the previous lesson, we discussed about water resources of Karnataka. Today, we are with one more new lesson from Geography part, that is Unit 5, Land Resources of Karnataka. In this session, we are going to learn on these main topics. Those are the meaning of land utilization, pattern of land utilization in Karnataka. These are all points we are discussing in today's session. And also agriculture. In agriculture, we are going to learn on these topics: meaning of agriculture, importance of agriculture, types of cultivation, and the major crops of Karnataka. So children, let's start our class with an introduction about Karnataka state. As I told in the previous lesson, Karnataka state is well placed. Karnataka state is geographically well placed because it has variety of natural vegetation, it has variety of soils, climate, physical features, water resources, minerals. These are all things we discussed in the previous lesson. Here, let's start our class with the meaning of land utilization. Children, now I am going to show few pictures on the basis of the meaning of land utilization. Once observe those pictures, later on I will explain about the meaning of land utilization. Yes. Children, have you observed the pictures? I hope you all observed those pictures. I think you people got to know the meaning of land utilization. In pictures, agriculture land is there, forest there, some buildings, railway tracks, road construction, hotels, schools, and etc. These are all pictures are there in videos. I think you people got the meaning of land utilization. Here, let me give an example for you. Jayant, a person, has purchased one land. Jayant has purchased one land. Here, either he may use for agriculture, either he may use for between to construction buildings, either he may to plant trees, whatever he can do. It means the overall the meaning of land utilization is use of land for different purposes are called land utilization. A particular land, either it may use for agriculture, either it may use for forest area, either it may use for to construction, buildings, schools, railway tracks, roads, whatever it means. Land use, the use of land is different purpose, is called land utilization. So this is about the meaning of land utilization. Karnataka state has 19.05 lakh hectare of geographically land. And next move on another topic, pattern of land utilization in Karnataka. Again I am going to show pictures on the basis of pattern. It means first one pattern, just observe those pictures, later on I will explain. Students, have you observed those pictures? I hope you all observed those pictures. What is there? Yes, agriculture land is there. So before going to the meaning of net area zone, so pattern of land utilization in Karnataka can be classified into 5 types. Those are net area zone, forest area, land not available for cultivation, other uncultivated land, and fallow land. Here, have you observed those pictures? Yes, net agriculture land is there. Yes or no? Yes. It means net area zone in the sense the land used for cultivation, the land used for agriculture. Here, net area zone is not same all over the state. Is not same all over the state. The land used for agriculture. Net area zone in the sense that land useful for cultivation, the land useful for agriculture. As I told now, net area zone is not the same all over the state. Some places have agriculture land, some places have forest area, whatever. So that net area zone is not same all over the state. Kalburgi district has the largest area under net area zone. Which district has the largest area under net area zone? That is Kalburgi or Gulbarga. So Kalburgi district has the largest area under net area zone. It means it has the largest agriculture land. After Kalburgi, Belgavi district, Vijaypur, Tumkur, Raichur, Bhagalkot, Ballari, Chitradurga. These are all districts have net area zone. and whereas Bangalore district has the least area under net area zone. Why it has least area under net area zone? Because Bangalore has number of buildings. Many buildings are there, railway tracks are there, so that Bangalore has least area under net area zone. So this is about net area zone. Again I am going to show one more pattern. Again I am going to show images, one more pattern in Karnataka. Just observe those pictures, later on I will explain. Welcome back. Have you observed those pictures? Yes. What is there? Forest area is there, no? Yes. It means the land useful for forest area. Forest area in Karnataka is not the same all over the state. As I told in the previous lesson, distribution of forest in Karnataka is not the same all over the state. Some districts have the largest forest area, some districts have least forest area. Among them, Uttar Kannada district has the largest area under forest. It means the land useful for forest area. After Uttar Kannada, Shivamogga district, Hassan, Kodagu, Chikmagalur, Dakshina Kannada, Udupi and Ballari. These districts have sufficient forest area, and whereas Vijayapur district has the least forest area in Karnataka. After Vijayapur, Bangalore, Bangalore Rural, Raichur, Bidar and Gadag. These districts have least forest area in Karnataka. It means the land useful for forest area. So this is about forest area. And next move on another pattern in Karnataka. Before going to learn the pattern in Karnataka, just observe those pictures. Later on I will explain. Yes, welcome back. Have you observed those pictures? I hope you all observed those pictures. Here I have shown few pictures on the basis of land not available for cultivation. Here railway routes, roads, industries, irrigation project, hotels, company. These are all there in video. It means the land is not suitable for the cultivation. It means which purpose it is suitable? Of course, to construct roads, to construct buildings and to establishment of industries, to start irrigation project and to construct schools, buildings, hotels. These are all things useful, so that the land is not available for cultivation. Here Bangalore urban district gets first place in all these purposes, because in Bangalore we can see many buildings, railway tracks, roads, schools, buildings, these are all things we can see Bangalore. So that Bangalore urban gets first place in Karnataka. After Bangalore, Shivamogga, Tumkur, Belgavi, Ballari, Mysore and Dakshina Kannada. And whereas Bidar district has the least in Karnataka. So this is about land not available for cultivation. Again I am going to show one more picture on the basis of other uncultivated land. Observe those pictures. Later on I will explain. Have you observed those pictures? What is there? Grazing, trees are there, no? Yes. It means the land is not suitable for cultivation. It is suitable for uncultivated land. For grazing, it means ಮೇಯಿಸುವಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮೇಯಿಸೋಕೆ ಅಂತಲೇ ಒಂದು ಏರಿಯಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And next trees, so that the other uncultivated land, in the sense that this land is not suitable for cultivation. Even other uncultivated land also is not same all over the state. Here it is found in Shivamogga district. It means Shivamogga has the largest area under other uncultivated land because Shivamogga has dense forest. After Shivamogga, Tumkur, next Kolar, Chikmagalur and Chitradurga. Here it is least in Gadag, Bagalkot, Dharwad. So this is about other uncultivated land. Next, again I am going to show a few images on the basis of fallow land. Observe those pictures. Later on I will explain. Yes, welcome back. Have you observed those pictures? Yes. Here, as I told in about 4 pattern, it's completely different from these 4 pattern. ಆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಆ ಭೂಮಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಿ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂತಂದರೆ ಬಿರುಕು ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ಪಾಳು ಭೂಮಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣ ಅದು? Yes, let us discuss about the meaning of fallow land. The meaning of fallow land is land which has not been cultivated for more than 2 or 3 years are called fallow land because of reason lack of rainfall and as well as climate. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಭೂಮಿ 2 ಅಥವಾ 3 ಅಧಿಕ ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಅದು ಉಳುಮೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದು ಪಾಳು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಬಿರುಕು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೀಸನ್ lack of rainfall and as well as climate. Even fallow land is not same all over the state, because some districts have received, it means heaviest rainfall in Karnataka, so that it has the best suitable for cultivation. Some districts have received least, some districts have received medium. It completely depends on climate, soil and as well as rainfall. So that fallow land is not same all over the state. Among them, Kalburgi district or Gulbarga district has the largest area under fallow land. After Kalburgi, Vijaypur, Koppal, Tumkur and as well as some parts Bhagalkot. Even it's very little fallow land in Malnad region in South Karnataka. For example, Shimoga districts, Mysore, Kodagu, Uttar Kannada, because these districts have received heaviest rainfall in Karnataka. So this is about fallow land. So let's move on another topic, that is agriculture. What is the meaning of agriculture? Here, the cultivation of land for rising crops are called agriculture. Again, once I am repeating here the meaning of agriculture. The cultivation of land, rising crops, for rising crops are called agriculture. Along with the agriculture, animal husbandry, it means ಪಶು ಸಂಗೋಪನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಜೇನು ಸಾಕಾಣಿಕೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೃಷಿಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪಶು ಸಂಗೋಪನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಜೇನು ಸಾಕಾಣಿಕೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ 61.4% of the people depends on agriculture, especially in the rural area. So 61, because it's a main basic occupation for the rural area, so that most of the people, especially rural area people, depends on agriculture. So this is about the meaning of agriculture. Next, move on another topic, that is importance of agriculture. What are the importance of agriculture? The importance of agriculture are, basically agriculture is one of the basic occupation for Karnataka state and as well as primary occupation of the Karnataka state. And here it is the main sources for a livelihood for many, and as well as agriculture is the main sources for economical sources. It means Karnataka states depends on agriculture. It means Karnataka states economical progress depends on Karnataka, depends on agriculture. Agriculture is providing food for the people, and as well as agriculture is also providing raw material for many industries, and as well as agriculture is also giving employment for the people. And economical progress of the Karnataka states is completely depends on agriculture production. So this is about the importance of agriculture. Next, move on another topic, that is types of cultivation. Different kinds of crops are grow according to the size of the land and land fertility and water, climate, soil, physical features, market. Here these are the factors influence on types of cultivation. Here As I told now, in Karnataka, different kinds of cultivations are there. For example, subsistency farming, irrigation farming, dry farming, mixed farming, shifting cultivation, commercial and plantation farming. These are the types of cultivation. Because of these factors influence on types of cultivation. Let us discuss about the meaning of irrigation farming. As I told in the previous lesson, the meaning of irrigation. What is the meaning of irrigation? The artificial supply of water for agriculture is called irrigation. Here what is the irrigation farming? In the sense, crops grown by using water from canals, tanks and wells are called irrigation farming, and it means some crops can be grown under the irrigation farming. For example, paddy and sugarcane. Paddy and sugarcane are the main crops grown under the irrigation farming. And next move on, another meaning of agriculture, another meaning of types of cultivation, that is dry farming. What is the meaning of dry farming? Here, cultivation of crops which depends on rain. The crops, it completely depends on rain, is called dry farming. Few crops are there, it completely depends on rain. For example, ragi, jowar. Again once I am repeating here the meaning of dry farming. Some crops can be grown, it depends on rain, is called dry farming. For example, ragi and jowar. And next move on, another meaning of farming, that is plantation farming. What is the meaning of plantation farming? The cultivation of few annual crops in the large estate is called plantation farming. Only few crops but large estate. For example, tea, coffee, rubber. Only few crops but large estate. Because of why? Earning money. This is the meaning of plantation farming. Next move on, another meaning of farming, that is commercial farming. What is the meaning of commercial farming? The word is saying commercial. It means crops that are grown not for the domestic purpose, but also an international market purpose, is called commercial farming. For example, tobacco, cotton, jute. These are all commercial farming. Next move on, another the meaning of farming, that is subsistency farming. Subsistency farming in the sense, the crops which are grown by the farmers, it is only for family purpose, not for marketing. It's called subsistency farming. It means the crops grown by farmers, it is only for his family purpose, not for marketing. So this is about subsistency farming. And next move on, another type of meaning, that is mixed farming. Mixed farming is very famous in Karnataka, it's very popular. Along with agriculture, few added. For example, animal husbandry, beekeeping and others. The meaning of mixed farming, it means mixed type of farming is gaining popularity in Karnataka. Along with agriculture, that is animal husbandry, beekeeping. So this is about mixed farming. Next move on another topic from this lesson, that is the major crops of Karnataka. Before going to learn on the major crops of Karnataka, just now I am going to explain, it means now I am going to indicate few places are very famous for crops, because all over the state each and every one places are leading to cultivation. Among them, few places are very famous for some crops. For example, Nanjangoodu is very famous for Rasabhale. Badgi is very famous for chili, either green chili or red chili. And next here, Tipturu is very famous for coconut. Mysore is very famous for betel. Bangalore is very famous for blue grapes. And Devanahalli is very famous for pomelo. Iranagere is the name of place. It is very famous for brinjal. And Nippani is very famous for tobacco. And next here, Karnataka state has number of crops and different types of crops can be grown in Karnataka. Some factors influence on crops. The factors are here there, as I told in the previous, land holding according to the size of land, land fertility is the main thing here. For agriculture production is completely depends on the land fertility, it means Phalavattate, and water, climate and sufficient rainfall, physical features, soil, natural vegetation. These all factors influence on cultivation. Karnataka state can be classified into two groups. Those are food crops and commercial crops. Food crops, for example, paddy, jowar, ragi and maize. And commercial crops, sugarcane, cotton, tobacco, these are all commercial crops along with oil seeds. ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ groundnut, sunflower, these are all oil seeds. Even plantation crops also can be grown in Karnataka state. For example, tea and coffee. So let us discuss about food crops of Karnataka. Food crops are paddy, jowar and ragi. In today's session, we are going to learn on only paddy. Remaining two food crops we will study in the next session. So paddy is a very important food crop of Karnataka state and it's very important food crop for people. It is one of the basic food. So here paddy is grown, nearly 28.2% of the cultivation is in Karnataka state, and paddy is one of the kharif crops. The scientific name of paddy is Oryza sativa. What is the scientific name of paddy? That is Oryza sativa. Paddy here, some factors influence on paddy. The factors are irrigation facility is very important, and temperature, climate and labors. These are all things have to need for paddy. Paddy is a tropical crop. Cultivation of paddy require heavy rainfall, high temperature, because supply of water is very essential for grown paddy. Suppose in case lack of rainfall is there, of course, we will go for irrigation. Here, few places are receiving scanty rainfall. Scanty in the sense lowest rainfall. There we can start irrigation. So, paddy is a tropical crop and cultivation of paddy requires heavy rainfall, high temperature. If rainfall is not there means, of course, we will go for irrigation. As I told in the previous topic, some crops can be grow under the irrigation farming. In that, paddy is there. Is it there now? Yes. Here, and best soil is also very neat. Alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, according to the climate. According to the climate, according to the soil is required for paddy. And also labors, even labors also is very important for paddy. These are all things need to cultivation of paddy. Here, nearly 70% of paddy is sown during June and August. It means 70% June, July, August nalli ಬಿತ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ನವಂಬರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಟಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಜೂನ್, ಜುಲೈ, ಆಗಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿತ್ತನೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ನವೆಂಬರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಟಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಖಾರಿಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್. ಇವನ್ paddy is also can be grow in the summer season. If irrigation facility is available, then we can start cultivation. So this is about paddy. Paddy growing areas. Paddy is grown all over the state, in all the districts, because of Karnataka has number of rivers. So that it's the best benefit for cultivation of paddy, because in North Karnataka, Krishna and Tungabhadra is one of the advantages for farmers. In South Karnataka, Kaveri river is one of the advantages. In the coastal districts also there. So that paddy is grown in all the districts of Karnataka. Among them, Raichur district gets first place in the production of paddy in Karnataka. Which district? Raichur district. After Raichur, many districts are leading. Among them, Ballari, Shivamogga, Davangere, Mysore, Mandya, Koppal, Uttar Kannada, Udupi, Dakshina Kannada and Kalaburgi. So this is about paddy growing areas. By this topic, today we completed one part of topic from this lesson, and remaining topic we will study in the next session. Till then, keep watching video. Thank you and have a great day.